Stop and think about it. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am a recovering alcoholic. I'm still sober. I'm still enjoying each and every single day. I've never met somebody who's ever regretted getting clean and sober. If you and your friends are local to the Huntington, West Virginia area and you're looking for an actual recovery-centric meeting, a meeting where you can walk in, sit down, and have a conversation, a back-and-forth dialogue, a back-and-forth exchange of ideas, an authentic, sincere conversation with another recovering drug addict or alcoholic, I encourage you to come on down to 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington, Pea Ridge United Methodist Church, for what we like to call the quickest hour in recovery. Again, you may be asking, what is this crosstalk all about? Well, it's everything you would think you should find in a normal fake A meeting, but you won't find. What you find in the fake A meetings, well, hell, you're told to sit down and shut up and take the cotton out of your ears, put it in your mouth, and do exactly what they tell you to do. And by the way, you're the most important person in the room. Okay, whatever. That's not for me. I encourage you to come on down to our Friday night crosstalk meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Pea Ridge United Methodist Church. We will see you there. As I do every year about this time, I take a look back, and I look back, whenever I started my journey in sobriety. On Monday, July the 6th, will be my 5 years. I will reach my 5 years of sobriety, continuous sobriety. And again, I always look back, and right off the bat, I'm immediately humbled and amazed, mystified even, that I made it this far. In April of 2021, I was not supposed to be here. I remember my doctor telling me in April 21, she said, if you don't make significant life changes, in other words, if you don't stop drinking, you will not see 2022. So right off the bat, I'm not even supposed to be here. And so that amazes me that I've made it. I remember how excited I was whenever I got my 30-day chip. That was huge for me. 5 years ago, a few weeks ago, 5 years ago, I was in Dayton, Ohio, and that was when I first became aware or accepted the fact that my drinking had reached the problematic stage for my life. Fast forward to July the 5th of 2021, I'm on the phone with my best friend about 11:15 at night, just right outside the back of my house over there, and I remember him ripping my ass, telling me, he said, I will take you anywhere in the world. I will pay for it myself if I take you there, if that allows you to get your head straight, for you to find your zen. And I told him, given early July, the anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, I'm a big Civil War nut. I said Gettysburg, and he said fine, and he took me there. He said, but I got to be sober. So the Dayton trip, that made me accept the fact that my drinking had become problematic. My best friend, offering me to take me to Gettysburg, my happy place, on July the 5th, 2021, that was the motivation. I remember thinking, well, I'll get sober just long enough so I can go to Gettysburg with my best friend. And that was originally my thought. I'm not going to lie. It was terrible thinking, if you look at it, but that was truly my thought process. And of course, whenever I was in Gettysburg 2 weeks later, I came to the realization, oh my God, I'm 2 weeks sober. I couldn't have told you the last time I was 24 hours sober, much less 2 weeks sober. And then, so the whole sequence of time between June and July for me is really significant. And it's something that I'm just really grateful that I went through that, because it brought me to where I'm at now. And it gave me 4 or 5 more years that I wasn't supposed to have. And so I'm just really grateful. But over the course of that time frame, I learned a lot of things, and the most important thing I feel that I've learned, is the fact I didn't have a drinking problem. I had a thinking problem. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous Bill Wilson writes in that book that the main problem of the alcoholic centers in his mind rather than his body. I thought it was all body. I thought it was all physiology. It's not. There's also psychology behind it too, and it's the way my brain was working. It was the way I would think about things. And then because I started thinking about things the wrong way, well, hell, I had to do something to slow down my thoughts. I had to do something to suppress those emotions. I had to do something to suppress those feelings I was feeling. So yeah, alcohol was the easy solution. Alcohol was the one that slowed my thoughts down. It would suppress those feelings, suppressed all those emotions. And I like that. I like that. Now, 5 years later, I've learned how to deal with those thoughts. I've learned how to manage my own actions based upon our thoughts. Sometimes you can't control your thoughts. I get that. I understand that. Sometimes you might get angry, you might get pissed off, whatever, but it doesn't mean you have to take action on it. And that's what I've learned in my recovery is I never had an alcohol problem. I had a thinking problem. I had a coping problem, if you will. And a lot of people are still like that in recovery. I want to caution you, whenever you come into recovery, yes, you need to change your thinking, but you got to be careful about the people that you're associating with. You got to be careful about that network, group support network, if you will, that you're building. The people in the fake A meetings, there's a lot of people in those fake A meetings. Yeah, they want you to stop thinking the way you used to think, but they want you to start thinking the way that they tell you to think. And that sometimes can be just as problematic and just as dangerous as the original line of thinking that brought you in here in the first place. So I want to encourage you, pay attention to what the people that you're surrounding yourself with, pay attention to what they're thinking, what they're doing, how they're behaving, because that's ultimately what's going to help guide you through your own recovery journey. And again, I want to invite you to our Friday night crosstalk meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. There you will find those people that you'll be needing, that you'll be looking for to find in your own recovery journey. With that being said, I'm out of time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.